Chicago, police kill Latinos at almost 7 times the rate of white non-Latinos. Your sense of what is driving that disparity?
Well, I think that we have to accept that Latinos are racialized alongside Black Americans as well. And for some in the Latino community, there was kind of a discrepancy. You know, people were blaming Adam Toledo's family, but they weren't blaming the Chicago police for the shooting. And so I think there is Latino racism, and it is adjacent to Black racism, and it is just as deadly and is just as violent.
Right, and I want to talk a little bit more about that. But Carmen, first, your nonprofit is hosting a rally honoring Sean Monterosa, a 22-year-old killed by police last year in California. Your sense of what accountability would look like in a case like this?
Certainly, we think accountability, first of all, justice is unique to every family. So justice is really pertaining to what the family needs are. But accountability would be the officer and all the officers responsible for Sean Monterosa's killing prosecuted as well as fired. And I think that happens especially because we feel that many police officers get away with murder. And one thing that we don't want to see is this officer being let go, especially when the family has been pushing every single day, fighting since June 2nd of 2020 to get justice for their brother.
You know, Nicole, you and Carmen are deep in this work, so the numbers that I read you from the Unidos report, they're not going to surprise either of you, but I think there are a lot of people who might be surprised with them simply because they don't see those headlines. Los Angeles Times columnist Gustavo Arellano argues that Latinos need to be more vocal about police brutality. How much of this is about organizing within Latino communities?
Well, even the notion of Latino is kind of a newly invented category. Lara Gomez has a new book called Inventing Latinos, which is within that category. There are Mexican Americans and Cuban Americans and Puerto Rican Americans, and not everybody has the same view of police brutality. Some people identify as white, others non-white. And with that heterogeneity, there's going to be disagreements about what is constituting police violence, whether it's justified. In my view, though, if people are dying at police hands, it is unacceptable. And we don't have the accountability structures to make it stop or to hold these officers accountable. We often protect them. So hopefully we can all, as Americans, agree that it is wrong. And if we have these numbers that Latinos are dying at a significant, disproportionate rate of white Americans, we need to hold police accountable and change these structures.
Carmen, I don't need to tell you that there are those who would like to use these issues to divide Black communities and Latinos who are not Black. How do you flip that script to actually make this an opportunity for unity and for allyship?
I think we have to recognize that there has always been solidarity efforts. And just as it pertains to data in regards to Latinos, there is no good data about Latinx people and the issue of mass incarceration, criminal justice, and police killings because of the way in which data is collected by race and ethnicity. And race and ethnicity designations, if included, are often filled out by law enforcement, which leaves room for error. So Latinos are often categorized as white, Black, or unknown. In the case of Sean Monterosa, he was categorized by police as African American. And so we, as people who've been fighting on the front lines around racial justice and police accountability, are showing up for our Black siblings, as we are also shouting that people pay attention to the police killings in the Latino community. So let's not continue to perpetuate this narrative that we are divided. We have been in solidarity for quite some time, especially over the decades of organizing through the Chicano movement, the Black Liberation Movement, the American Indian movement. We have always shown up for one another. And there were conversations that were happening with Fred Hampton and Latino leaders in the past, as well as Dr. King and Corky Gonzalez from the Chicano movement as it pertained to police killings. So, of course, that narrative could be put out there, but we as Latinos need to make sure that we show up. And we also have to understand that this has been happening for over 200 years. We know that the history shows that Latinos, particularly Mexicans, were lynched here in California. About 600 were lynched across the country. And so we understand that police killings is our issue too. However, we need to make it a mainstream issue.
Nicole, broaden this out for me. We're talking specifically about police brutality. How does all of this apply to bigger questions of justice reform?
Well, again, what's happening to the Latino community is happening to African American community. In some ways, when we think about the injustices that these segments are experiencing, this is, withers away at the legitimacy of the entire system. We expect it to be equitable, fair, and when something does go wrong, we expect accountability. And right now, so many structures protect law enforcement when they are committing crimes. In the case of Adam Toledo, they lied. The police lied and said that Adam Toledo had a gun. And if it wasn't for the video, that lie would have sustained itself. And so without accountability structures, with prosecutors that are unwilling to charge officers, in some ways it delegitimizes our American criminal justice system. And we as Americans need to vote better, do better, and demand better.
Carmen, Nicole, thank you both.